Let's get a nice bend right here. I think nice. That one might be good.
Yeah.
That one
now it should clear with that 90 right there. That's
sure.
what we needed.
I like it. Should we try to put it? Maybe if we put like another 90 right here and shoot it out the hood. I got an idea. Why don't we just like shoot it in the glove box? So in that way you can check your transmission fluid as you're driving, and then, or just have your passenger check it.
That's a good idea. Yeah,
right?
that's a good idea.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, Project Midwest. Name is Ed, for those of you guys that are new, and building the twin turbo FRS. So just a crap ton of videos. This build has taken a lot longer than we expected it to, but we're doing a really good job of documenting everything, I think. So for today's terrible video, we're gonna be talking about oil catch cans. So we ordered a, thought it was gonna be a little bit bigger, but I think it'll do. So, what does that sound like? That sounds terrible. Hopefully with a little bit of oil here and there, it'll slick up.
Yeah,
but,
seriously.
So, got this for like 30 bucks on eBay, and it seems pretty good. So it has a baffle, and it also came with this, I like this little steel sponge. So again, this is just to keep like the oils and fumes trapped inside the oil catch can. Has a nice little dipstick too, and came with some hardware that we're probably not going to use because that had terrible reviews. But for the catch can itself, pretty good stuff. So I think for placement, God damn, that sounds
That's so loud, dude.
I know. So for placement, I think this is going to be like a perfect little spot for it. The challenging part right now is, since this might be from eBay, we don't know what thread pitch this is. So it's not, I guess it's not like a -8 fitting either. Well, we don't have one to try. We tried some pipe thread or some pipe fittings, and those didn't work. So we'll figure that out later. Anyways, the idea is we're probably gonna make a bracket for it today. Sit in this location. We have our check valves as well, just to make sure that we're keeping the boost in the right direction and not sending it back to the engine. So got 2 of those, and some random fittings here and there, and also our stock. So we got some aluminum stock to make the bracket out of that. And yeah, so I think, oh, recap, while we were not filming, there was a few things that we did here and there, nothing too crazy. So we actually got the return for our fuel rail setup. So here's the line. It runs behind the brake booster over this direction. It's shielded, and just to prevent it from, I guess, you know, rubbing in this area. Well, it's gonna rub, but it's more of like avoid it from puncturing and then leaking and then catching on fire and then destroying the build and the car's history. So wraps around the brake booster, and that looks like it's touching, but it's not. It's gonna be down ever so slightly, and then at this point now we just have to connect our return line, and then we should be all set. So this is our feed. At the time when we did this, I think we were messing around with it, and we were trying to get an understanding of how these push fittings or push lock fittings worked, and we left this extra long, so we're gonna have to trim that back. But fuel regulator is in place, fuel return still in the works, and then we're probably gonna get rid of this line. This is actually a vent, and we're not gonna get rid of it entirely, but we're probably gonna vent it to atmosphere, or do some sort of return there. But the other thing too is we got our wastegates. So we got our barb fittings on there, and those are ready to go for vacuum hoses, and we will have to put some springs in there. I'm not really sure how I want to do that. We want to get the car up and running. But anyways, too much talking, let's get to work. Quick update, so we actually got the oil catch can in place. Instead of placing it right here, which was going to be a little challenging due to the check valve, this check valve is a little long, so we're taking this home. Oh, by the way, I drilled out the old vacuum fitting and use 3/8 fitting there. But so if I put my check valve right here, you guys can see what the problem is. So our hose shoots this way, and then it would have to come down, loop, and into the oil catch can if the bungs were facing forward. So that wasn't gonna work. So that's why we placed it in the top right-hand corner of our engine bay. Now this will go right there. It will rest somewhere in this area. We might like zip tie that, fasten it. And then that'll hook up to our PCV valve. Actually, wrong. So PCV valve goes to oil catch can in, then from oil catch can out, comes into our check valve, this direction, into our in tank, and we don't have any boostage going the other direction. And then for this side, we actually, let me move these heater lines out of the way. So for this side, we did on the same thing. So this is a clean side. We got our check valve here into a 90. These are all 3/8 fittings. And then from here it tees. So again, boost cannot go this way, only that way. Well, boost isn't going that way, vacuum is. So this would be pressurized with boost, and then this would hook up to our wastegate. So our wastegate's gonna sit somewhere in this area, and yes, it looks like it's gonna touch, but when I'm done, it's not gonna touch, guys. But yeah, so that's ready to go. So overall, we're very happy with this vacuum setup. I think it's gonna look a lot cleaner than the stuff that I've seen online.
I agree.
So,
Looks
especially because everything's so short, you know, and like right where it needs to be. No extended lines. Our longest lines are gonna be right over here, and then even then, like in the corner, it won't look so bad. So our heater hoses are already in place too. I just will have to tee these still to our turbo so we can cool those down. And fuel regulator. So I think we had covered this before. So my intention was to keep it in this spot, and I actually elevated it a little bit. So all of these things are not really fastened right now. It's just more like to gauge and, you know, cut things to length. But for the most part, this is where it's gonna sit. So I have my return and my feed ready to go. And we have plenty of space between our headers too. So we're gonna wrap these just to prevent, you know, anything from getting, I guess, getting hit with heat, and just make sure we don't melt anything. So plenty of space too for our gauge, for our fuel pressure gauge. We do have to buy that still. Completely forgot about that. And yeah, so everything is nice and tucked. Right now, what we were gonna do is we're gonna bend our transmission, what is it called? Dipstick tube.
Dipstick tube, yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna bend this. It's a little bit harder than we expected. So now we're just gonna use vise, and if that doesn't work, we're gonna cut it. So we do need to bend around like this area. So if like I bend it here, then we should be good. And then I'll need another bend over in this area, like that, and now it should probably fit. So let's get a nice bend right here. I think
Nice.
that one might be good.
Yeah.
That one looks
Now,
really good.
now it should clear with that 90
Yeah,
right there.
for
That's
sure.
what we needed.
I like it. Should we try to put it? Maybe if we put like another 90 right here and shoot it out the hood. I got an idea. Why don't we just like shoot it in the glove box? So in that way you can check your transmission fluid
Yeah, drive.
as you're driving, and then, or just have your passenger check it.
That's
That'd
a good
probably
idea.
be
Yeah,
right?
that's a good idea.
And then just maybe have some like shop rags in there.
Just in case.
Yeah, but all right. Well, we'll do that, and should be all set. Just kidding, guys. So I actually ended up cutting this. We bought this dipstick. It was like $8, I think. And I wouldn't have trashed a good one, but the fact that it was $8, I mean, how much more could you get like a used one for? And I wasn't gonna waste my time looking at a junkyard trying to find one. Anyways, so we cut the end off. The idea is that we're gonna use a -8 line, and we're gonna double clamp it here and make our flexible dipstick hose / tube. And I've seen several guys do it. The key to that is to make sure that the dipstick is way at the bottom of the transmission pan.
Oil pan.
And you guys actually might have to double or fact check me on that, because I think there's like, oh, we do have the dipstick. Yeah. I'll actually show you guys. Well, here you can see. So there's a cold and then there's a hot level. So when the dipstick is in the transmission pan, we actually have to make sure that this is at the proper fluid level. So some of like the, what was it, those low car, I think that's what they're called, low car flexible dipstick tubes, I think they were a little short, so your transmission will be fluid deprived, and that's why getting the proper length on the hose is going to be key. So as soon as like that top, the handle bottoms out, that I guess level needs to be perfect or dead on in the transmission. So we'll just make sure to do that. I unfortunately don't have any more Dash 8, but I will be ordering more just so we can get that knocked out. And then the next thing too, we might have to do something similar for our oil, so engine oil. We don't have, since now we're like a front sump, our previous dipstick, or that should work.
It might
the
work.
dipstick might work, but the overall length of that tube is not going to work. So,
I don't think so.
not entirely sure what I want to do there yet. I need to research it. And yeah, so last couple things that we have to take care of. Got all my vacuum and my vacuum lines connected to the wastegates too. I'm not really sure if I showed that or not. There's one big problem that I don't know how to solve just yet. So in our oil pan inlet or outlet, it is like intersecting dead on with our sway bar. So sway bar does not allow a 90-degree fitting to clear. So we actually tried, this and this won't clear. So I've seen, they're almost like tight radius or like machined blocks that are like Dash 8, but we need one that is Dash 10. So essentially what it is, it's pretty much like a square block piece of steel, and then you'd have your Dash 8 port here for your inlet, and then the outlet would be right here, exactly at a 90 degrees. So you wouldn't have all this excess stuff. So that would work. I just gotta find somebody that makes it, and if nobody makes it, then we might have to CAD model that thing and get it fabbed up. For 60, 61, 62 subscribers, if you guys have a solution for that, it would be greatly appreciated if you drop a link or something in the comments. Still have to do some research there. The other thing too, guys, I actually forgot to cover the lower radiator hose, so that is on as well. So we actually ended up using a flexible radiator hose that fit perfect, and we got a clocked thermostat housing, which was right here. And then all of that clears. So even with this vacuum line in place that connects from our wastegate to our turbo, nothing is making contact right now. So we're still gonna sleeve everything that's hot and I guess cold or vice versa, just to make sure that nothing melts. And yeah, so there's a few minor things that we gotta tackle. I'm gonna order some parts again. And sorry if this was just kind of like a quick update, but that's how things work sometimes. So I'm gonna try to get all this stuff ordered, so in that way we can start, you know, bolting all the accessories and everything down. And then yeah, I don't know what else. We do have to figure out that oil pan issue. I think that's going to be our biggest setback right now. But yeah, I think that's pretty much going to conclude today's video, and apologize for all the talking. And sometimes you just got to give updates. So I'm gonna get all these parts ordered, and yeah, so I think that's gonna be it for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next week, 2 weeks, I don't know, just kidding. Next week for sure. See you guys then.